Hey everyone, this is Mike Andes, and you're listening to the Business Bootcamp Podcast. Today I'm going to be sharing with you something I have changed in my businesses, something that we've been working on, really molding the way that we show our pricing, making it public, making it transparent, making it easy for people to access, and not making them go through a whole bunch of different steps to get pricing. Being open, honest, and transparent, and building up that trust relationship with the customer prior to the sale. Before we get into that, a big thank you to today's sponsor, which is Gusto, gusto.com/bootcamp. That's where they're giving us a 90-day trial of their software, completely free. And with their software, you can just enter in the hours that your employees work, and then it automatically does all the calculations for payroll taxes, unemployment insurance, all the other stuff, Medicare, Medicaid, like all that stuff gets taken out, and then does a direct deposit into your employee's account. Takes out a huge amount of time off of your plate, as well as if you were to pay an accountant to do the same thing or a bookkeeper, it's much, much cheaper. So they're giving you an entire quarter, 3 months free to try it out and see how you like it. So go to Gusto, gusto.com/bootcamp. Now, today what I'm going to be talking about is really stemmed from listening to a book called They Ask You Answer. So you might have heard on the last podcast that I've been listening to this book called They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. And he talks a lot about really answering the questions that your clients ask and answering them via vlog or blog, like writing on your website. Generating traffic that way, but more and leads, but more importantly, you're really building the trust relationship and vetting out leads as they come into your organization. So we've been playing a lot with that. And what it's led me to really start testing out and really believing in is transparent pricing. And it's something that really I've been working on before even reading the book because of the gym. So at the gym, when we took over, even when I worked there 5 years ago, I still remember that it was kind of taboo to give prices over the phone. If someone asked for prices over the phone, we were basically supposed to say between $50 and $500 was the cost of membership, and that they just had to come in and see the price options. And I get it, and I totally understand that why that method would work, and maybe have certain metrics behind it as far as closing ratios once they come in the door and getting more traffic inside the club. Because I think the thought behind that is, hey, we want them to see the club, we want them to feel the experience, feel the atmosphere, see the equipment, shake the hand of the trainer, like all of that touch. You want the interaction with them, and then there's the higher likelihood they're going to buy. What I think that calculation doesn't take into account is the amount of people that call, ask for the pricing, don't get it, and then don't ever show up at the gym to get the pricing and have that appointment and talk to the trainer and see the equipment and take a tour of the club. And so the reason I believe this is changing, and it has in the past 10, 15 years, is because of online shopping, the internet being much more popular place to buy things, Amazon. Like, there is no place where you can go, an Amazon store, and test things out, check it, touch it, feel it, and then buy online. Like, they completely trust the fact that you are going to look at reviews, you are going to see pictures, you're going to see the product description and make the purchase online without seeing the product. And they're very open and honest, and there's big font telling you what prices they are. They're not ashamed about it. They're not trying to discount it. It's just there, and you can take it or leave it, and they make it very, very simple for you to buy quickly. One-click checkout for Amazon. And very, very powerful, very consumer-centric, and eliminates the amount of steps for the sales process. And this is something that I think transparent pricing does, is it educates the customer, makes them confident and trust you, and then allows you to make the sale fast and take time out of the equation, as you heard me say that before. And so for the gym, what we did when I took over there is we make it very, very public, very, very transparent as far as what our pricing is for memberships, for team and small group and personal training. So I still remember when I worked there 5-6 years ago, and literally, if someone would have come up to me and asked for personal training prices, I had no clue. I'd say you need to set up a fitness consultation with the trainer, and they'll walk you through those. Again, yes, there might be a better closing ratio of people that do get the FCs than we call them fitness FCs, but they're fitness consultations. Maybe there is a higher close ratio for that trainer to close sales once people have come into their fitness consultation. But what about the people who never actually set up a fitness consultation because it makes it so inconvenient just to get the pricing of the class, the session, and the training? And so, what we've done since I've come in is like, look, we have the same pricing for all our members. If you do a 24-month agreement for our gym, it's going to be $39.99 a month. If you are going to get a 12-month agreement, it's 12-month contract, you're going to be looking at $44.99 a month. Very straightforward pricing, doesn't change, not a lot of price options, and we stick to our guns on those prices. And so, but we make it very public, like literally all over the club. They know what the prices are, and they know exactly what the value is. They can tell their friends what the price is. We put it on Facebook. We don't care about our competitors knowing what our pricing is, because if they really want to know, they're going to find out. But the big thing is, and we're going to get to this in a second, but your competition doesn't pay your bills. Your customer does. So why would you care about what your competitor thinks, or even if they're going to copy your pricing or somehow know something about your business, if they're not even the ones making the buying decision? Like, if you can create trust with the customer, they won't even consider your competition, and there will be no chance for that competition to even transact with the customer if you can build the relationship of trust with that customer and sell to them and close them because you are open, honest, transparent with your pricing, and they want to go forward with you. And so, with the gym, we have it very open and very clear what the pricing is for membership. For training, we have it all over the gym. This is like the gravy for a gym is training and having personal training, group training. And so we make it very clear. We put it 2 different places in the club, very clear, 3 different price ranges, $100 a month, $200 a month, and then personal training is by the session for 30-minute and 60-minute sessions. So very, very simple pricing. There's no longer tiers and different levels, and if you buy one, you get like some of this other one, and all. Like, it's just very, very cut dry, very simple for the pricing. So I really believe in simplicity and transparency when it comes to your pricing. Simplicity is very key. 3 options, make it simple. Transparency is one thing that I'm still getting better at, and I think a lot of us as small business owners can get better at. If you look at large tech companies, you look at software as a service companies, you look at Dropbox or any of these other software as a service companies online, storage of your things, software for your CRM, for your payment processing, whatever it is, website building, whatever it is, software as a service, there's almost always a pricing tab on their website. And that's almost always the first thing that a customer clicks on because they want to know the prices. I hate when a software as a service company puts a pricing tab, then you go there and they say sign up for a 14-day trial, and there's no pricing as to what is the cost going to be when I'm done the trial. I just want to know what the price is. And I think as we get more and more attuned with e-commerce, it's going to be much more standard for your prices to be online, for people to be able to purchase online without seeing the product, without shaking your hand, without ever transacting with your company. Like, for instance, the other day, we had someone send a contact form in for an estimate, send a picture in of the trees that they need trimmed. We gave the estimate. It was accepted all within a matter of a few minutes. And on the schedule for the next day, our crew went out, did the work, completed the job, paid for it via credit card. We never saw the customer, and yet the whole transaction took place smoothly, effectively. They were happy. That is the way you have to start thinking about how you can make your business more efficient, more technologically advanced, and more transparent when it comes to pricing. We didn't go there. We didn't haggle with them. We didn't make up pricing. We have standard pricing. We have standard costs and ways that we price out our jobs. It's very simple, very straightforward, and we can tell the customer exactly what we're charging them and why. And so that was for the gym. We made it very simple, very clear, transparent with the pricing. Everyone in the gym knows what the prices are. They aren't surprised when they refer their friend and all of a sudden their friend is getting a better discounted price on their membership. They aren't surprised when they talk to Joe in their small group training and find out he's paying $10 less a month. Like, that doesn't happen. It's all standard. It's the same. It's very simple, transparent. There are no questions around pricing. And the beautiful thing about it, for instance, in the gym, is no longer do they need to see a trainer to buy that package. They know what the pricing is. They know the schedule for the training sessions. They can basically say, oh, I want this price option and I want this time slot. They can walk into the office and just buy it. And again, eliminating steps of the sale, taking time out of the equation. That's what we have to be thinking about as small business owners, because if we don't, Amazon will. If we don't, Home Depot will. They're going to figure out ways, and they're going to invest millions of dollars in figuring out ways to take time out of the equation, and in order to eliminate the steps of the sales process and make price actually less important because it's so transparent. When you make your prices transparent, people aren't going to haggle with you. They aren't going to try to bid you down or ask for discounts. And so you got to be confident about your pricing. You got to have it standardized. You have to have it very transparent so that they know everyone else is getting charged the same amount. And if you've heard me say this about standardized pricing before, you know the analogy. You don't go to McDonald's and haggle with the person at the front checkout about how much you pay for the cheeseburger. You know that every single person behind you, in front of you, and for the next, who knows how long, is going to be paying the same $2.99. So you never haggle with the guy at the front desk or the guy or the gal that is ringing you up for your cheeseburger. You just don't haggle. You just pay because it's very clear that everyone is seeing the same price as you on the pricing board, and they're going to on the menu, and they're going to pay the same price. So why not do the same thing for your customers? Make it very clear what your pricing is as public information, and so they're not surprised. They're not trying to haggle with you. They're not taken back by your pricing because they already have been set up for exactly knowing what you are going to charge. So that was the gym. That was Anytime Fitness. Then for Augusta Lawn Care, something we've done more recently, and is where we actually post pricing. So in the landscaping industry, most people do not post their pricing. It's kind of like the taboo subject. It's the thing you don't tell anybody. When there's 5 and 6 landscaping companies to go to bid on a job, they never talk to each other or share numbers. It's like taboo. It's weird. I don't know. It's just our industry. But so it's very strange to be sharing pricing or costs of jobs and things like that. And when you even talk to people that are competitors that you're kind of friendly with in a local area, for myself at least, it's like they won't tell you exact numbers. They'll kind of give you round numbers and dance around their product costs and labor costs and stuff. So what we did, we're just going to be open and transparent with our customers. Listen, we're going to tell you exactly what the cost of the materials on these jobs are going to be. So what we did is we wrote a blog post about how much does a retaining wall cost? How much does a paver patio cost? And then broke down the pricing of, the different variables that are going to come into play, because obviously there's different variables like slope and compaction and type of soil and access to the job site. All those things are big factors. But we give really, as good a price range as we possibly can, and then explain, okay, on a 150-foot wall, our product cost is going to be $4,000 for the blocks. It's going to be another $400 for the gravel. It's going to be X amount for the labor. This is going to be your total project cost, a range for this type of project. And we give a couple different scenarios and pictures and things like that. And so educating the customer. We're not trying to sell them. We're just educating them on what the approximate cost of their retaining wall is going to cost. What's the approximate cost going to be for a paver patio? We're just educating them. But guess what? When they make a buying decision, they're going to come back to the company they trust and the ones that have given them the most information. And I hope that's us. Now, what it also does is it eliminates the people that are not going to be good business for you. And we make it very clear that not everyone, we are not the right fit for everybody. And we weed out the individuals that are looking for the bargain basement pricing, whatever you call it, and cheap prices and getting discounts. We weed those people out. We explain. We have another tab, a long article I wrote about our pricing and why we charge what we do and where the money's going. And I share exactly what our company is doing. And the reason I do that is, again, being transparent, being open, honest, and showing them, look, we are not trying to make up numbers. We're not trying to price gouge. We are setting realistic numbers and figures and prices that are going to allow us to have a sustainable business to be able to serve you for many years to come. I explain overhead. I explain in this long article, I explain the difference between us and an uninsured unlicensed, unbonded company that is going to be doing the job for a lot cheaper. And how, yes, we're going to cost more than them, absolutely, but we're also going to make sure that if someone ever, God forbid, got hurt on the job, we're going to be covered. Whereas if someone uninsured is there, all of a sudden that homeowner is going to be liable for their insurance and their health care. So again, just outlining, explaining, and educating the customer. For some people, they're like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'd rather take 20-30% off and have someone that's going to pay their employees under the table, isn't going to have uniformed employees, who knows where those employees, what they've done in their record, and they're going to be uninsured, unlicensed, not pay taxes, and they would rather just pay the 20-30% less discount and have that kind of a landscaping company. But what I'm going to do is weed those people out, because I'm not going to get them anyways. We're going to charge the same no matter what. So why not weed them out beforehand by explaining to them that we're not going to be the cheapest, and if you're looking for 20% off for a random reason, we're not going to be able to honor it. We have a specific pricing method that is going to allow us to grow sustainably and serve you for years to come. And so I explained that. I explained some of the common questions that we get around pricing at our company. And one of them is, one of the questions that a customer might ask that's mad about their pricing is, am I just making the owner rich? And so I actually go and explain, listen, look, this is where all the money goes. All our employees know that I'm putting all the money back into the business, and this is why. This is what our goals are for the company. And I explain this is the pricing. And so it just, again, you're going to make some people mad. You're going to make some customers feel like you are being arrogant about your pricing, or that you're not being fair or whatever. And those are not going to be your ideal customers anyways. And then the big reason that people will not do this, and I don't care if you're in landscaping or a gym or what I do with the podcast, sharing my numbers, being open and transparent about pricing will always pay off in the long term. And it doesn't matter about your competitors. This is the reason most people will not do this. A gym, a landscaping company, whatever. They will not post their prices online, and they will ask people to call them or come to their office or come into our store and get pricing. The reason they do that is because they don't want their competitors to see their pricing. Let me give you some groundbreaking information. You're all about the same when it comes to pricing for your competitors. I don't care how great you are and how great your prices are, you're going to be pretty close to your competitors. Unless you have some groundbreaking technology or groundbreaking method of manufacturing that reduces your cost so much more, it's very rare you're going to be way astronomically cheaper. So there's no magic sauce. The bottom line is, this is what I said before. Let's just walk through the scenario, okay? Your competitor sees your pricing on your website, and all of a sudden, they know that Joe the chiropractor charges $50 for a 30-minute session adjustment. The chiropractor Joe is charging $50, and he's plainly stating it on his website. And Bill down the street, another chiropractor, Bill, just on the other side of town, the same street, across town, is charging $60, and he sees that Joe is charging $50. All right, so let's just walk through this scenario. A competitor is seeing Joe and see that he charges $50, and Bill realizes that he is charging $60. Okay? What is Bill going to do? He's going to do one of two things. He is either going to lower his price, which, by the way, you want your competitors to lower their prices. It means they're devaluing their service. They are in competition with you. They are chasing after you. So they're lowering their prices. They're trying to compete with you. They're following you. They're reducing their net profit margin. So if Bill reduces his price down to $50, all of a sudden a sixth of his would-be revenue is gone, which is probably half of his profit. So that's not a bad thing. Okay, so he lowered prices. Horrible. Now what's the next thing that Bill might do? He sees that Joe is charging $50 and he is at $60. What else? He might be like, well, I'm doing so great. I'm charging $60 and Joe is only charging $50. I'm charging $10 more per 30-minute session and I'm doing better. Okay, great. He pats himself on the back. That's the worst thing that happens when the competitors see your pricing. Some people are like, well, what if this happens? What if a client goes to Bill's chiropractor, says hello, gets his pricing in store, walks down the street, goes across town, goes to Joe's place and says it's $50. And he realizes that Bill is charging $60. So what does the customer do? He goes back to Bill and says, you're charging $60 and Bill is $50. There again, it's money and it's value, right? And so the worst thing that can happen, your competitor might try to like use your pricing against you. For instance, we are posting on social media the project costs for our job. So we'll put a picture of, like we did today, a retaining wall. It was $11,800 something for a project we completed. And so put some pictures, put the total project cost and what was done on the job in a post. Yes, our competitors could hop on our page and be like, hey, we would have charged $10,346 instead of their $11,800. Like, yeah, they could do that. Guess what? I can delete their posts. Okay. Maybe they recognize the address and could go to that customer and be like, hey, we could have done it for cheaper. Guess what? That customer is happy with our service. They're blown away by our level of commitment and communication to their job. And they're going to be like, forget you guys. Like, we did the job and we're happy with them. And so, like, there is no lose in this situation. Maybe if you're bidding in an open bid against other competitors and they see your pricing, they can undercut you and take the lowest bid and, like, undercut your pricing by just a little bit. That's, like, the worst thing that can happen. But guess what? They're lowering their price. Again, if they are chasing after you and following what you're doing, you're in a very, very good place. As long as you stay the top dog where all your competitors are chasing you, and if Bill is constantly watching Joe's website to see what his prices are, Joe, has won the game. That is the bottom line. And I know that there's landscaping companies watching locally, my competitors, watching what I'm doing. I don't look at them as competitors. I think there's plenty of work out there. I would help every single one of them, and I have helped a lot of them with their pricing, with their jobs, how to get better employees. Not a lot of them, I shouldn't say that. Several of them that have opened up and been not as weird about competition. But I know for a fact some of them are going to try to use it against me. And that's fine. They are not my client. They do not pay my bills. They do not pay my employees. They do not pay anything. They do not generate me any revenue. My customers do. And that's all I care about. I care about creating trust with them. They will buy from me. They will see the value in the relationship I am creating. And guess what? You say, well, maybe you shouldn't be saying this because all of your competitors are going to do the same thing. Okay, great. But guess what? They're following me. And as long as they're following and trying to come after and trying to strive after what I've already done, guess who's in the lead? That's what you want to be. That's why Amazon is beating all the small e-commerce. Walmart is starting to crush the game online, and you're seeing what they're doing in their marketing and their sales online. Like, it's changing the game because they have figured out that making transparent pricing is a very good thing for making sales. You no longer need to go through a salesperson. You no longer have to go to a store. You no longer have to call. You don't have to no longer go to a retail physical location. You no longer have, eventually it's not going to be like, you don't have to wait. It's just going to take time out of the equation, right? And so I'd really encourage you, make your pricing transparent. Explain to your customers on your website what you're going to charge before you even get to the job. Weed out the customers that are going to be looking for the discounts. Weed out the customers that are getting 5 and 6 different estimates on the same job, and you're going to waste your time. You're going to get a better qualified customer. You're going to have your existing customers have better trust in the value that you're giving them because they know that they're going to get charged the exact same amount as the next guy coming along, that you're not just making up numbers. Have transparent pricing. I promise you it'll change your business. If you have questions, let me know and write to me at businessbootcamppodcast@gmail.com. If you have a question on how to start, grow, or save your business, I want to hear from you, and I'd love to answer your question. So thank you all so much for listening. You've been listening to Mike Andes on the Business Bootcamp Podcast. Until next time, be great because nothing else pays.